Welcome, Sandi.
Thank you very much, Sheri. Nice to be here.
And we're so happy to finally have you on the show and talk about this unbelievable trip that you run for thousands of people out of Florida called the Holistic Holiday at Sea Cruise. Tell us a little bit about how you started and why you started to run this event.
Well, I've always been into education, of spreading the word about macrobiotics and people taking care of themselves. And I was started in just doing that at my house 52 years ago, actually. And we did weekends at hotels on Miami Beach, and then we did week-long programs on Miami Beach. We did that for about 30 years, and we did it all over the country. We did it in San Francisco, we did it in Palm Springs, California, we did it in Breckenridge, Colorado. We took the show on the road in hotels. And then one day I was riding from one of my travels on an airplane, and I read about these conventions that they were doing on cruise ships. So I go, sounds like a good idea to me, because once you have them on a cruise ship, you have a captured audience. The hotels, everybody was scattered at the end of the day. Some people stayed at home. Some people stayed at neighboring hotels. On a cruise ship, that's not the option. You can go overboard if you want to. Otherwise, you're with us. And to be with people morning, noon, and night is a whole different dynamic. It's a whole different energy. And it worked out. The very first year we did it, we had more people than we ever had in the best years we ever had in the hotels. So obviously it resonated with people. The idea of education, camaraderie, the food, and visiting exotic ports. So it's not such a bad combination.
And I went on the first cruise with you guys, actually when you had Misho Kushi on board. And it was a small group, and we started off with the Costa Cruise Lines. But for now, you've changed over to MSC, which is a larger boat and can accommodate many, many more people. And since that time, it's grown huge from what it used to be.
Yeah, we're doing like 7 times, almost 10 times the amount of people we had the first year. Getting closer, we're going to get, so, we've been toying with the idea of doing charters, and we're going to do charters. The next couple of years, we'll be chartering the ships and having the whole ship. Right now, we have 2,000 people that come, which is not such a shabby amount either. So it's pretty nice.
And what I love is not only, like you said, you go to great ports, but you have wonderful speakers. You take over the kitchen and you change the whole plan for eating, so it's more vegan options for people. And people get to network with thousands of people from all over the world that are like-minded and attend class with each other, so they can discuss what's discussed in the class, or they can talk about their own lifestyles from where they are. We're showing a picture of the auditorium, which you've been able to fill up in its entirety for some of your well-known speakers like T. Colin Campbell, Neil Barnard, Dr. Greger, Dr. Esselstyn. And then you get some of the top vegan chefs to come on board and work with the chefs on the ship, which is amazing because they all learn a different style of cooking as well. And people get to experience a healthy cruise as opposed to just going and eating as much junk food as they can find on board.
It's a learning experience on both parts. I mean, for us to learn in that whole atmosphere there, to have 165 chefs in the kitchen. We bring on about 15 to 18 of chefs and the bakers. So it's a whole different thing how to mingle with everybody and get along. We stick with the standard. Even the chefs, they give me menus and stuff. And it's not just the ingredients. It's what melds together, whether you're going to have beans and lunch and dinner, or you're going to have this kind of course that go together. It's a synergy that has to work out. So it's more than just the ingredients. It's a whole way what goes with each other. We want to have it as not just that you're eating food, obviously, but you're staying pretty healthy at the same time, because we know as a reputation on cruise ships, people are very gluttonous about things. They eat and eat and eat. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a funny story about that. So the desserts are pretty great, and we serve desserts at every meal. And the very first year, when I wanted to go on the cruise ship, I went into the dining room, and the gentleman in charge said to me, it was all set up with crystal goblets and spoons and 5 water glasses and wine glasses and silverware all over the place. And I said, Hans, we don't need all of that stuff. He said to me, Sandi, lesson well learned. If you want to sail with us, you must, with a capital M-U-S-T, at every meal, 5-course meal, you must have a soup. You must have an appetizer. You must have a main course. You have to have a dessert. You have to have a salad. No getting around it. because in macrobiotic world and vegan world, who eats 5-course meals at every meal? We don't do that. He said, you have to do it. Well, we did it, and people love it, obviously, because it's being served to them. What's bad? They sit back, waiters are coming over and serving them in tuxedo waiters or wherever they are, and they give it to them. And when it comes to the desserts, people love the desserts. So one day I'm sitting at a meal with somebody, and the guy really loved the desserts. And he's asked the waiter for seconds. And on the cruise ships, they are taught you don't say no. You have to accommodate them, so they'll give you whatever you want. And he had a second dessert, then he asked for a third dessert. So I said to him, I don't know you. Let me ask you something. If you were in a restaurant and you were paying for it, would you order 3 desserts or 4 desserts? I said, because it's not just a matter that it's free here, but for your health. Would you do that to yourself? Eat 3 and 4 desserts in a meal every time? You liked it because you liked the desserts? I gotta admit, I embarrassed him a little bit, but I felt I couldn't keep quiet about it. So of course I want everybody to have a good time, but that was called excess. And like everything else, we're trying to teach. It's not just about sailing around the Caribbean. It's education. We're trying to teach people how to get healthy in whichever way we can. There's little hints you do here and there.
And what I love about it is I'm such a networker, and I'm just ecstatic on this cruise because there's so many people to meet and to hear their stories and their backgrounds. And you make so many great friends, and then you stay friends once you leave the ship. And it's just everything, positive in one little week of your life.
It's not just positive. It's not just stay friends. Some of them have even got married. Some have kids. So we've had some hookups on that because, as you said earlier, if you're going to go on a cruise, why not network with people that are sort of like-minded? What a place to go. If you want to meet single person and you're a single and you want to meet from a romantic point of view. And the other part is just networking with people. We have open seating in the dining room. The cruise lines never have that, or almost never have that. And this way, at every meal, every single meal, you're eating with different people every day. So in the course of 21 meals, you might be sitting at 21 different tables throughout the week, and which is pretty incredible. And yeah, of course, sometimes you like somebody, you might hook up with them, you say, well, let's meet for lunch and dinner again and again. But for the most part, people move around. And in addition, we have singles tables. So this way, the first couple of days, we have it strictly just for singles. And we have singles parties. We try to make it so it's social. So it's the idea is education. The idea is fun. The idea is eat well. The idea is network.
And what I love
the idea is have a good time.
Yeah, what I love too is you oftentimes when you sit down for a breakfast or any of the meals, you could sit next to a famous lecturer that you just heard up on stage, or one of the celebrity chefs. And you get some downtime with these people to ask them questions and sort of learn, outside the classroom from them. And then you hear about other people's experiences in other classes, so you can get information if you missed a class. So
yeah, it's true. I insisted on that with the teachers because I didn't want the teachers to go in the ivory towers and stay in their room. The idea, I beyond encourage them, you have to be in the dining room. And therefore, if you're there for 21 meals, you're there for a week, they might have different groups of people. We sit with them all the time. These people, it's like a high, like you just said, it's like a contact high, so to speak. That you're, I had lunch with Dr. Greg, or I had lunch with T. Colin Campbell, and imagine that. That's pretty incredible for some of these people.
I know it started off as a macrobiotic cruise, and it's morphed more into a totally vegan cruise, but the magic of that ship is that people are sitting in both classes and learning both sort of studies and information that the teachers are sharing. So I know I was asked to be a speaker on the cruise last cruise, and it was so fabulous for me to see so many prominent vegan people in my class asking questions about macrobiotics. So I always say that you're really marrying the two together, which is such a beautiful thing to get these people to network.
We're trying to turn people on to macrobiotics. It's interesting because in the beginning, some people said to us, well, it's a macrobiotic cruise and it's not a vegan cruise, but the food we know, the quality is as good as macrobiotic food as you're going to get the quality. And the lectures, we always have macrobiotic lectures on there, and we do a survey before the cruise. What's your lifestyle? Macrobiotic, vegan, all-American, whatever it is on it. And the numbers always change, go higher. And we do a post-cruise, much more people macrobiotic than they were in the beginning, obviously. So it's working.
It's really beautiful what you're doing. And the funny thing is, I know the ship sometimes gets upset because being, like-minded, healthy individuals that we all are when we board the ship, we don't drink a lot, we don't gamble a lot. I mean, sometimes it's fun to go through the casinos, but they often say, we're so all like-minded in caring for the environment, having great lectures about climate change as well as eating well and healthy nutrition, and you always manage to get some of the most prominent speakers in the field to come on board, which is really exciting.
I call it the dream team. We have the dream team of anybody who's into natural foods or natural lifestyle. We get the dream team to come on the cruise.
So not only are you learning all this week of the cruise in classes, you're getting great exercise because there's yoga and there's Pilates, and then there's early morning group that runs with your friend Larry around the deck of the ship, and people working out in the gym. So you're learning all certain modalities of nutrition, but also exercise, which is great too.
Well, one of the missing ingredients that I think in the world of macrobiotics is people don't embrace exercise enough. So we definitely offer exercise, but not just there, but people to go home and realize that, exercise and eating well is like a geometric progression kind of thing. It's not just 1 + 1 = 2. Mm-hmm. It's 1 + 1 = 100 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing we didn't mention was that we have on board every night, almost every night, a deck party. So we'll sponsor a certain natural food company for the deck party, like a pizza party or an ice cream party, all healthy foods. And people come out at night. Here's a picture of everybody out on the deck, and there's live music. Usually we have a singer or a band playing, and people get to network, but also enjoy maybe a new healthy product. The evenings are beautiful. It's usually warm and sunny during the day, so at nighttime you can go out on the deck if it's not too windy. And it's another really great opportunity to network with other people, sometimes see your favorite teacher or lecturer and get a photograph with them, and just enjoy some really nice music. So you're really having so many amenities on the ship. The ship offers a spa, some massage, some really nice ship stores. And what I forgot to mention is that there's a bookstore as well on the ship where you can get the book from the lecturer on the ship, as well as get it signed during the book signing activity in the evening. The last bit of entertainment we have on the ship is the talent show. And the talent show is run by a person named Blair, and every year he gathers whatever talent is on the ship, and everyone comes out in the auditorium and enjoys a nice variety show with everyone showing their talent. So there's plenty of activities at night as well as in the morning, and the bookstore is available. Like I said, all the amenities of the ship are available to enjoy. Sandy, I talked a little bit about the bookshop and the book signing.
People love that because everybody loves it. It's pretty amazing, and they love to have a book signed. And people bring books that they have at home. People come on board with their books from the different authors that they bought already, just so they can get it signed. So it's like it's a personal thing. People feel good about that. It's pretty nice, and the authors are always very accommodating. They're sitting there sometimes hours at a time signing books.
And you can also buy kitchen equipment there. You can buy snacks. You can see the latest whatever somebody's showing in class. Sometimes there's magnets or crystals, or Jenny from Curate Soaps has been on my show several times and selling her soaps now on my website. She started off at the cruise selling soaps at the bookstore. So there's this great opportunity to see new products there as well.
Yeah, one thing I want to say, because I know we didn't cover this, but I get notes from people all throughout the year that they say it's like a life-changing week for them. Mm-hmm. We say it's okay, it's fun, it's nice, but some people, obviously, it's a life-changing experience. A couple of stories, I'll give you one anyway. A woman from Texas one year, I never met, there's 2,000 people, more than that, and you don't meet everybody, you don't know their names, you see them, but I don't know who they are. And one year I get a check in the mail from this woman who was on the cruise, obviously. She paid full thing for the cruise, and it was a significant check. And she said to me, Sandy, she says, in my church, we believe in tithing. And what you do is a wonderful thing. And I want to send you this money for you to have because of what you do. It's a pretty wonderful experience. And I was totally embarrassed by it, totally blown away by it. And I thanked her, obviously, for it. She was appreciative to do that. And other stories like that, too. Another woman gave me the largest check I ever got from somebody like that also. It was like incredible. Even though they've been there, they had the experience, they said, we want you to encourage you to keep doing stuff like this, to help people and turn people on to this lifestyle. And I say, okay, you got it. I'm going full steam ahead.
And what excites me is what I did. I introduced a lot of the speakers, and for Dr. Esselstyn, thousands of people came out, in the auditorium to listen to him. Many who have suffered from a heart attack, wanting to change their diet, wanting to learn more about plant-based foods. So it's not just people who've been vegan for years or macrobiotic for years. It's new people as well with questions about their health and how to turn it around. And another fun thing that you do is offer a movie at night, usually some cutting edge movie that has been produced, like Forks Over Knives or the Game Changers. We're hoping our brown rice movie makes it up there someday, to let people know what is the cutting edge now for nutrition and for plant-based eating.
We've been the world premiere on a couple of times. We had it before anybody else ever saw it. They gave it permission to do that. I can't emphasize how important it is to have a good time. It's not just to sit there in a classroom and take notes and everything like that. You want to have a good time while you're doing it. What could be bad by having a good time, having fun, eating, and meeting like-minded people, as you said. So we're encouraging that more and more, the networking with people. Matter of fact, people said to us, can we have different networking opportunities to meet? Like, we've tried to do that with different people, like here's Pennsylvania over here, or New Jersey over here, or California over here, and even break it down even further.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We're trying to do that, but people have to be willing to give out their information. Some people, believe it or not, don't want to do that. So we're trying.
So Sandi, we're going to wrap up. How can people reach you if they want to sign up for the cruise or read about the cruise? We have a website, photo we're posting.
If they have any real specific questions, they could always call the number Holistic Holiday at Sea at 305-928-1098.
That's so wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Sandi. And we look forward to
Sheri, and thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the stuff that you do to spread the word to different people. It's really great what you're doing.
Thank you. And we really look forward to seeing you on the ship. Thank you, viewers, for listening, and make sure to join us each week and visit our website, www.macromagic.com, and see you next time.